Okay, so I'm making this video to explain my first Salvia trip, basically. Uh, I hadn't done Salvia before, it was probably like 4 months ago, I guess. And so one day, a bunch of my friends and me, we had like 80 bucks between us. So we go to the local head shop called Culture Rising in Streetsville, Mississauga, where I live, and we just blow 80 bucks on this 40x Salvia extract. It's the black stuff. I don't know why I did this for black stuff. I don't know what that means, but I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but apparently, based on my own experience and based on what other people tell me, that is the best stuff. Uh, and it was a sunny day. It was nice. Uh, it was like around the summertime. The weather was just getting like a tad bit cooler at that point in the year, but it was nice and it was a good day to do salvia. So I guess that's why we chose it. So we bought the salvia and we went down to this park called Big Johnson's, and it's like an arena and then a park, and it's by a river, and there's all these trees and grass, and the sky was blue, and the sun was it was like dusk, so it was a really nice time to do salvia. And so we go down there, and we're just having a good time swinging on swings and stuff, and uh, playing around. We were pretty stoned at that time, and we met my buddy Richard, who's always good to do any kind of psychedelic with. He's just got like a chill attitude. So we met up with him, and at that point there was probably like 9 of us. And I always thought if I was gonna do salvia, I don't want to do it in a big group or whatever. But I just went with it, and it all turned out for the better. So I'm glad. Um, so Actually, the reason I'm doing this video is because I was reminded of the Salvia trip when I was talking to Richard about it last night. But that's off point. So we went across this bridge to this like big field area with all these like willow trees and all this like shrubbery and growth around it. And we sat in this like little alcove kind of thing where the grass like dipped in or something. And I think I was the first one to take a bong hit. And we had this green acrylic bong about, I don't know if you can see that. It was about like it's about like this big. No, probably like that big. It's a big bong. And so I'm just sitting on my charger here. Oops. So we had that, and that's what we were gonna hit it out of. And there was like 5 people there who wanted to do salvia, and we had a gram. We bought a gram of that 40x black extract stuff. And I was like, oh man, this isn't gonna work for everybody. But everybody did get a trip that day, so that was nice. And I was the first one to take the hit. The music I had in was a song I'd been listening to all day on my friend Michael's iPod. It was Octopus's Garden by the Beatles. and and I was feeling the vibes, you know, vibing out to that, and it was a sick song. That was like the first time I heard it that day. Actually, call me uncultured, but it's my first time hearing it. And so I still had the headphones in, and I remember being like, I'm just gonna. I was telling my friends as I had like the bong in my lap, the bowl was packed, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take a second and listen to the music and get in the zone. I'm gonna get in the zone, guys. And so I got in my zone, and and I took it. This must have been the biggest hit of anything that I've ever taken in my life, and I was really surprised with myself because I'm pretty bad at hitting bong, and I took it all in one toke, and I held it for 30 seconds, and at that point you almost doubt that anything's gonna happen, but I guess I'll give you a play-by-play of this. I fell back, not really fell. I kind of just like slowly went back, and my hand went over my head, and I don't know how to explain this part, but it was like my hand was like a fan. I'm gonna look really stupid doing all the actions, but my hand was like a fan. It was like opening up like a fan, and then there were like a bunch of my hands, like one here, one here, one here, one here, kind of like smudged, you know. And that made like a quarter circle, and so that became the like top right corner of a tunnel, and or like a spiral, I guess, a vortex more like. And I don't know. I'm just assuming this now, but I think my brain was like taking colors from the sunset because at that time the sun was setting, and there was a lot of like green, blue, or not green. There was green from the grass, but I didn't see any of that in my trip. There was like a blue, orange, yellow, red, pink. So some really nice colors. And I'm listening to Octopus's Garden, and the rest of the tunnel, because I mentioned that like vortex tunnel thing before, like that quarter was my hand, and then the rest of it was like swirling sunset colors, those pinks and purple and blue and all that. And I didn't have a body, and I I did, I wasn't like aware of my body. I wasn't aware of the world. I like all I knew was this tunnel, this like vortex. I didn't know that I'd just taken a drug, or I didn't remember any of my life before Salvia, and I wasn't aware that there was going to be life after it. And there was kind of like voices, not really voices, but there were like things there, kind of. It was like like they were like communicating with me, telling me, just like putting the idea in my head, I guess, that like things are okay. Just keep going forward, keep going forward. And I remember trying to like get onto the sides. It was like almost like there were ledges on the outside walls of the vortex, and I remember trying to like get inside those ledges, and I never did. I didn't. I just went straight down the vortex. And I was listening all this time. I was listening to Octopus's Garden. It was playing and playing and playing and playing. I'm not sure how long it was, but it it served me well. That song. If I'm gonna give one piece of advice to someone who's about to do salvia, I'm looking right into the camera because it's serious right now. My one piece of advice is have a song that you love, a song that puts you in the best mood. It will make literally all the difference in the world. Absolutely. That I owe the fact that I had a good trip was I owe it all to the Beatles. I guess I owe it to Ringo Starr. He wrote that song. It's a good song. So bit of a tangent there. What was I saying? Uh, yeah. So I that was like the happiest. That was probably like the happiest 5 minutes of my life ever. Best experience. Best experience. Very spiritual, kind of otherworldly kind of experience. Definitely the most I've ever tripped out of acid, mushrooms, like ecstasy, DMT, MDMA. That's the most I've tripped out. That is the hardest trip I've ever had, and I don't. Sometimes I don't handle trips that are that hard. Sometimes I don't handle them well, but that was a breeze because I wasn't like aware. I didn't have a conscious mind. It was a lot like being in a dream. It did start to go a bit bad at one point. I I guess I was walking around a lot. They tell me. Well, my friends, the people who are with me, they say I was walking around a lot, and I was doing a whole bunch of crazy shit with my arms. So I apparently at one point I knocked the headphones out of my ears, and because like my arm got caught in the wire and just ripped them out, and and then I started to that like tunnel kind of went away. I don't remember the transition between tunnel and no tunnel, but it went away. I'm gonna try to shorten this video. Goddamn. It went away, and I was trying to. I was like aware of gravity again, and I was aware of being in like having to operate a body again, and it felt like I was trying to get up, but literally it felt like there were things pulling me down to the ground. I'm guessing that was like gravity, Um, I was trying to talk to people. I think I was trying to say something's wrong, but all that came out was like complete gibberish. I would think about it was like stuff like that. People were laughing at me, and I didn't know what was going on. I tried to grasp the situation, but I got like the only details that I got were people are watching me and they're being entertained by it and they're not trying to help me and I'm suffering. I was kind of scared at that point, but I had these vodka bottles in my backpack. I had a backpack with me and I had two vodka bottles in it. And I was trying to take the vodka bottles out and make like some kind of pillow out of my bag because I just wanted to lie down and be comfortable at that point. So and everybody was like, when I started taking the vodka bottles out, they were like, "Oh no! Don't drink those! Don't drink those! Don't drink those!" I was like, "I'm not trying to drink it. I'm not trying to drink it. I'm just trying to lie down on my bag." And when that passed, that was about 5 minutes, and that whole stage lasted where I was scared and I confused and stuff. And then I kind of got stuff like the feelings started to go away, and I was like, okay, things are kind of halfway normal again, and uh, that was nice. And I was left with a pretty like euphoric feeling, I guess. Uh, it was nice. This is nice. I was trying to tell people what I saw and what happened to me and what I felt. But as anyone who's done a lot of psychedelics knows, that's sometimes kind of difficult, especially right after a trip when you're still like absorbing some stuff. So yeah, first timers who are looking to do salvia, listen to some music, something you really like. Be with people that you kind of like at least, uh, and that's about it. It's not that dangerous. It's pretty safe and it's under the right circumstances. It will be the most enjoyable experience of your life. Thanks for watching.